I've realized with the release of Layer 2 and the game discount that was active, many players are both returning to the game and picking it up for the first time. So I'll show you how I progress with every build I make, with the order of the stats, how to level each stat the best, what trait points I recommend, and what I think the best place is to get XP. I won't explain the endgame of deepwoken, but here's just how I progress my builds. I will explain where to go and how to do some things, but this isn't meant to be a full game tutorial, as I expect you to have some basic game knowledge and some understanding of the map. If you don't have one or both of these things, there are other videos that you would find helpful, but they cannot be found on my channel. Starting with which stats I progress with first, I'll use my most recent flame build as an example. If I want to get reinforced on a build and go 50 fortitude, I would do trial of 1 and get 50 fortitude as soon as possible, as I would get my element mantra on the first whisper, and by the time I reach 50 fortitude, I am eligible to get my reinforced mantra on my second whisper. Then I sat into agility for the commons and the rares. I would use all the extra points from trial of 1 and put them into my element, and once I finish the trial, I try to be eligible for all my elemental cards as soon as possible. After finishing my elemental stats, I level charisma to the point where I'm eligible for tough love. My final main stat I progress is usually strength for the rares, and now I like to go for the Star Kindred Oath. And for the rest of the points, I will level my current weapon, but for my flame build, that meant leveling willpower as I use the light's funnel tool. Now, what is the best way to level those stats once it shows a small arrow next to the stat indicating that you need to do specific things to train the stat? For strength, weapon, and element training, the best place to train is in the same area. Arisor's Church, located in Arisia, can be found by going to the front gate of Arisia, walking up the main stairway, taking the path on the hill, walking past the broken castle, past the bandit camp. While on your way to the tower struck lands, instead of taking the main path, go along the edge of the mountain and follow that path to the church. There should be a static event that you can activate by talking to the NPCs sitting at the campfire. The initial wave of enemies is good for training elements by using mantras on them. To train strength or weapon, wait for the bandit waves to pass and have the golem spawn. Once all enemies are cleared and the golem is aggroed on you, sit at the campfire if the golem does any attack besides the spin. If the golem is spinning, go up and parry the entire spin. This trains the strength and weapon stats very quickly. To train charisma, just spam the charisma lines using the copy and paste lines in the description. To train fortitude, you can do two things. For a slower and safer method, go to Isle of Vigils and head to the instructor's room, and spawn the guard to hit you while you put on a training vest. For the faster method, go to Fort Mary and head inside the prison and set up a campfire. Talk to Brutus and allow him to knock you out. Once you get up, talk to him again. Do this a few times and heal the campfire to regen about half a bar. Then use a boulder, and that's the fastest way to train fortitude. For agility, I believe swimming is the fastest way to passively train the stat. Willpower, I normally just use the prayer beads and wait while watching YouTube or doing something else, but a faster method that I believe works but I don't personally use is eating foods that make you vomit near a well to repeatedly vomit, but while not dying to food since you have water from the well. Intelligence, I won't lie, you just gotta do math or grind those flowers that can be crafted in the stat potions. I highly recommend just doing the stat in trial of 1. For all my current builds, I go 2 vitality, 4 erudition, and 6 song chant. Vitality is just extra points being used. Erudition is important as it directly correlates to how many mantras you can use and how many tempo bursts you can have and use. 6 song chant as that is a huge source of damage on any build. For the best places to get XP, I believe Chime Conflict is always the best if you win consistently, but if you're like me and you find Chime PvP extremely boring and you're progging a slot solo, unable to kill a boss at your current level, I believe Crypt of the Unbroken is the best place to farm. Crypt of the Unbroken is located in Minarisa, and the path I take is going up the hills, past the Aces quest, up the ice cliff, past the rogue hive golem spawn, across the bridge, past the guards, and following the snow path until you find and climb the hills. A stairway leads straight into the location. Be careful as the NPCs here have a lot of HP and are a high level of AI with their parries and attack. If you begin to grip any one of them, most likely more NPCs will run to you and you can get overwhelmed easily. The loot is okay, but the XP is what stands out here. Good luck with making your builds, and if you have any questions, I can answer with what I personally believe is true about the game at the moment.